look around you. Where you are right now, as you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
but you just get to do something. Stop waiting for manna to fall from heaven.
Never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on Connect with Simeon. I finally got my haircut, and hopefully you guys like it. So I always normally do an introduction on the program, and so this program is one that helps us celebrate our own, so our very own. So people that are doing awesome stuff in Nigeria, both in tech space and in the entrepreneurial space, workers, investors, staff, everybody that is doing awesome stuff. So if we promote our own, we could get others to listen to us. We cannot keep complaining. We just want to promote our own. And today I will be having someone special, someone coming in. And before I introduce the person, I want to also say that a lot of people are complaining that my Facebook page is a bit too restrictive. So I've opened a new Facebook page that allows us to be able to communicate above, above 5,000 friends. So we could get up to 1 million people just communicating and talking about what we need to do, and also connecting. So your network, like I always say, shows how your net worth would be. So if we can connect everybody, connect people, when you're having a problem, you come there, you shout out, we will help you get someone that would help you definitely. So today we're going to be having the delectable Omolara. Everybody knows her as the fitness bluff, the expert that is always doing that, exercise, but nobody actually knows that she is an awesome person. She's an awesome person. She's welcome to the studio. Lara, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks a lot, Simeon.
People don't know that
you
you actually work with Jumia. You're currently the country manager at Jumia, and you started from somewhere, and you're where you are today. And for us, that's what we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate people that are doing exceptional work, people that have a career path, people that are building businesses. A lot of people are lost in Nigeria today. There's too much hustle. There's too much stress. How do I get from where I want to be, or where I am, to where I want to be? How do I, walk through my way and get to that? So as usual, we start from the past, we move to the present, and we talk about the future. So tell us about your past. How did you? I know Lara from when I used to call Jumia. Used to be
Jovago.
Yes, used to be Jovago then. And when I call, and there's this voice that would answer and try and help me get reservations and stuff like that. And to know that voice today actually runs the whole thing. So tell us about your journey.
Okay, yeah, so it's
further back. We don't mind further back.
Okay, so I'll start from Guaranty Trust Bank. Yeah, my first real job started in Guaranty Trust Bank in 2006, where I was an executive trainee and then moved on to become an assistant banking officer. And I stayed with GT Bank for 3 years. Why I stayed with GT Bank for only 3 years was actually because I got a challenge, so to speak, from the MD of GT Bank when we were in training school. So I was really young, wet behind the ears and everything. And, he came into training school to have a chat with us, the newbies, so to speak. And I asked him a question. He asked us to ask him anything. And I said, how old were you when you became the MD of GT Bank? And he told me that, oh, okay, MD, it's a bit, blurry, the lines, but he can tell me he became the DMD when he was 33. And so I calculated my age then in training school and saw that there's no way I'm going to become an MD in GT by the time I'm 33, right? So I literally landed on my feet running, and I knew, the base was so large and the top was so slim, it would be difficult to make a difference and get to that top by the time I was 33. And all I knew I wanted to do was become an MD at 33. So I chased after that dream. After 3 years, I left GT Bank. I went to do my master's in management in the UK. I stayed in the UK for another 3 years. I worked with British Gas. 2 of those 3 years, I did my master's. 1 year, worked with British Gas for 2 years. I started as a customer service person and then moved on to do innovation and change. And after some time, I knew I wanted to come back home. And again, everyone was asking, are you crazy? Why do you want to go back home? And people at home were like, don't come back. There's nothing going on at home. Stay there, stay there, stay there. I'm like, why would I stay there? I mean, that's not my home. I'm a Lagosian through and through. I just want to be in Lagos. And in 2013, I really believed I could make a difference. I could make much more difference back home than I would ever do in the UK. So I packed my things in 2013, came back home, and started hunting for a job in a startup, because I had calculated it. If I'm ever going to, make the kind of strides I want to make, it would be really silly to go start from the base in another massive company that already has 50,000 people. But I knew I could make a difference, and it's easier to make a difference in a small space than to start trying, to climb the ladder from the 5th rung or whatever. So that was my decision to join a small company. And I interviewed at Jovago. It was, literally a room in a house in Lekki, plastic chairs. And I was like, what kind of company is this? I know I want to work in a small company, but there's nothing going on here. And the person that interviewed me then, who later became my boss, Marek, when he asked me, what questions do you have? I asked him, what is the opportunity for growth? Because for me, it doesn't really matter if I'm coming to sit in a plastic chair, work with my own laptop, just basically build this thing from scratch. But is there room for growth? And he told me that you can grow as much as you want here. You can grow vertically, you can grow horizontally, whatever you choose to do, you can do it here. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is the place, So that really encouraged me to push myself into it and start running with it. So I started, yes, as a customer service person. When I took that job, I say this all the time to people, I felt that job was beneath me, because I had worked 3 years in the bank, I had a master's degree, I had done real change in British Gas for another 2 years, and then I come back to say, good morning, this is jovago.com. I really felt it was beneath me. But the only thing I was looking at was the fact that there is room for growth. I didn't see myself as a customer service person. I saw myself as somebody building a company. And whatever it took to build that company was whatever I was going to do. And that was how I approached the job, and steadily started growing from there.
Cool. Normally I don't like interrupting when I'm listening, because I'm also learning as we go. How, I mean, what you tell yourself? Like, yes, I know you asked the GT Bank CEO when he became CEO, and when he became CEO, and he told you he became DMD at 33, and that was a goal. How do I get to this point? At what point did you tell yourself that I might run this company one day? And what do you think are the differences between I am working for a company and I actually want to run that company? Like, what's the spirit behind that?
Okay, so the as at the time I was growing it, from scratch in 2013, I didn't even think I was going to run it, to be honest, that particular one. I just thought I would learn whatever I needed to learn about running a business from this place. And then if I needed to move, then this would be a kind of launch pad for me. So as at that time, it was, let's do whatever it takes, And when we began, we didn't know what we were doing. But we knew we wanted to build a business. We knew we wanted to build a solution. And so it was whatever it took. It was waking up, starting work at 6 a.m., leaving work at 10 p.m., waking up in the night to answer emails, and just keep it going, because you when you work with a startup, as you know, you're the life of the business. There's nobody going to clear up your mess if you don't. So you just have to keep going in it. So my vision then was that I want to grow in this company. I want to grow with this company. And looking at it, it was every opportunity to learn I was looking for. So it took me another couple of years, doing customer service, doing business development, being the go-to guy for anything you can think of in this world, building content from scratch, communicating with hotels, doing all of it to say, okay, I can really do this thing. There's nothing wrong with me starting to try this. And I think it takes you also telling yourself that there's nothing you can't do, yeah? So when I came into Jumia Travel, Jovago then, I didn't know anything about tech. I wasn't a tech person. I wasn't a techie person in any way at all. But then, it took me having to say to myself, if people can do it, then I can do it. If what we need to do is bug fix it, I can learn how to do bug fixes. I can learn how to push things. I can learn what needs to be done and just keep going with it. So I did this for 2 years, and then I actually got bored with running customer service at some point. And I wanted to do business development, which has always been my passion. And so I started doing business development. The beautiful thing about working with Jumia is that you can do anything, literally anything. As long as you're not deviating from the plan of the business, you're not doing something that's harmful, you have that the free hand to do whatever you want to do to grow the business. So I started doing the business development, and it worked. And because it worked, we took that model and we spread it across Africa. And then I thought after that point, I want to become a country manager. And when an opportunity came to be country manager in Ghana, I took that opportunity, despite the fact that what I was doing in Nigeria was a much bigger cut of the pie, so to speak, than whatever I'd be doing in Ghana. But I wasn't a P&L owner in Nigeria, right? So I knew I wanted to learn how to run a P&L. I wanted to learn how to do these things from scratch. So I took on a much smaller business in Ghana, turned that one on its head in about 4 months. And so when the opportunity came to run Nigeria and Ghana in that year, I just got called back to Nigeria again to become the MD for both Nigeria and Ghana. So I think what I'll say to this is you need to have that focus, you need to have that drive. What am I doing here? And one thing I always tell people who are working at a job is that if all you're doing is all you have been employed to do, you will never grow out of that role. Because the truth of the matter is, if I had been doing customer service and I felt, oh, this job is beneath me, I don't like my pay. My pay is too small. And why is this company going to stress me? Why are they going to keep me at work for 18 hours in the day when they're only paying me X amount of money? I'd probably still be there. Okay, maybe I won't be there because I would have been kicked out, right? Well, I'd probably still be in that frame of mind of doing customer service. Because if all you want to do is saying, okay, this is what I've been told to do. Well, I've been told to do it. Sometimes when people get laid off and they say, oh, but I did what I was told to do, I tell them that is the problem. You can't just do what you've been told to do. You need to find out what the problems are, and you need to be the solutions bringer, and you need to be the person basically that people would look up to and say, oh, I know if I ask this person, I'm going to get it done. And that's how you create value in an organization. And that's how you become the person people say, oh, I don't want this person to go. Even if, they say, oh, let's let everybody go. Somebody will say, oh, no, not this particular person. If you let this particular person go, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And that's how you become valuable in an organization. So me, it was more of creating value. It was more of becoming a valuable person than becoming the MD as at that point in time. However, in creating value, in being curious, in trying to learn new things, in being humble, I was able to climb through the rungs and get to that point I wanted to be at.
Wow. I mean, this brings me to something I've been learning. I've been actually reading a book. I showed the book on Tuesday during the program, and it taught me one thing, and that's exactly what you just hit on the head. Learning. Like, what makes people successful is the fact that when they walk into an organization, they know nothing. They actually tell themselves, I'm coming to learn more things. So you find out the biggest names in the world, the successful names in the world, they actually tell you they know nothing. And once they start learning, they start becoming valuable. So if you're not valuable, that's why you're fired, because there's really no value that you've brought. And I mean, thank you for, because you've broken down something that is now interwoven into everything that we need. So you find out that business owners say, hey, what's the value you're bringing? Now you're saying, even as an employee, you need to bring value to the table. Else, why are you here? So you might stay in the same place forever just because you're not adding extra value. So yeah, I mean, Simeon can do that. Simeon can do that. Yeah, Simeon can take out the trash. Oh, that's all he does every day, taking out the trash. But he's not cleaning the space. He's not doing other things. So if you're not doing something extra, why do you get extra from your employers? They don't see for no, because you're only doing what you're paid to do.
What you're paid to do.
That's a great one. So I mean, guys, if you have any questions, this is someone that has done it, at MD level. And she's done it very, very well. I've seen her track record. Omolara, you've done very, very well. From where I knew you to where you are today, I can't even. I'm almost not getting to the sole of your feet. So if you have questions, please shoot at us. Omolara will help us. She's now running a company with so many staff. She knows exactly what it is that you need to get to that level. And so just rolling the questions, and I'll be happy to put it that way. So, Omolara, how have you been able to manage? So, COVID hit, and it was like you guys were instead of going down. How do you, as an employee of a company, just take to yourself like this opportunity rather than saying, let me pack up and just go home and sleep? How did you now take it up? How do you see and say, guys, we need to turn this around and rally the troops? What did you do differently?
So it's again, it's about a sense of ownership, of that business. So even though I'm an employee, I see this business I'm running as my business, and I act that way as well. Because if it was my business, this is how I will treat it. I won't leave it to customer service to do. I won't leave it to the riders to fulfill. I will be there in the thick of it with them. And it's the same approach I bring on board here and say, we got to get things done. So the most stressful part of doing on demand from home is engaging the team and keeping the team engaged, keeping everybody focused, keeping the riders focused. And it's, so solution is in communication. Checking people's pulses, making sure everybody is at their best. It's hard to be optimal at this time. Everybody is going through, you know, some really hard time. So like understanding that people are performing at their best, having a whole lot of empathy, you know, and understanding sometimes when we work from home, when I'm here, I have a generator, you know, if power goes off, some of my team members do not have that luxury. Unfortunately, it is a luxury in Lagos, yeah? Some of them don't have that. So maybe somebody can't join a group call, maybe somebody doesn't have internet, you know. So having that kind of empathy, communicating with the team, going out there to talk to the riders, all the riders, and all riders in Lagos, I see them on the road, you know, wave at them, make sure they're doing well. If I have some lunch, pass to somebody, making sure that people, you know, are happy to come into work, give them incentives. So riders, you normally get X amount, but because you're going above and beyond in this period, I'm going to give you an incentive to top that up and keep them happy. Truth is, I know, you know, it sounds cliche, but if you keep your people happy, they don't mind, they'll do anything for you. They will show up, sometimes show up not for the business, but for you as a person that is thinking about them. And then they're thinking that, oh, this person is thinking about me. This person is going to help me. And so for that reason, they do show up. So I take that very seriously, keeping people happy, making sure they're fully engaged and going out there with them, you know, like, guys, you're not alone in this. We are all in this together. I think I'm the one that uses the Facebook care emoji the most, because I really feel it, you know, people are going through quite a lot. And to let someone know, I'm here to support you. We are all in this together. We just keep doing it. But sometimes, you know, it's about hitting the nail on the head, hitting people hard. Guys, I know it's tough, but we have a business to build. And we need to build the business. And we need to understand that this is the time we can build the business. I'll tell you, in this last couple of months, our business has grown ×3. And it's because, you know, the situation calls for more on-demand services. And then we have to do more recruitment, everything done virtually. We have to make sure people are out there picking up food, picking up groceries, picking up drinks. And it just had to keep going through these times. So it has been tough. Me, sometimes, you know, I sit down and I'm just crying like, gosh, this is stressful. But then you pick yourself up and you just keep going.
Wow. Guys, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I have a clique of friends that I'm always happy to have around me. I can flip up my phone, call the best of them all. Right now, I'm talking to the country manager of Jumia. Like, I can call her up and we can have drinks and we can talk about it. And that is network. You have to network with people. You have to learn, and learn again. And I just learned something new from Lara. Lara, apart from Jumia, something else everybody knows you about, knows about you. And I noticed it when I actually posted a video of me and my wife doing exercise. The next thing I see a message from you saying, hey, let's form a group. I'm going to form a group, join it, and all that. And I saw a request to join, and I joined. And I'm not going to kid you, I've been shy actually doing after that. And the question is, how do you remove being shy? Like, that's the country manager of Jumia, and she's on the streets, you know, she's exercising, she's, you know, doing this and doing that. How do you change should naturally make you shy to something now giving you that value that you're trying to achieve? You know, Nigerians are naturally shy people. Like, how do you come up in public and say, I'm going to do this exercise? And, you know, how did that happen?
I think for me, it's about embracing yourself and accepting the person that you are, right? And I always say this as well to friends. This is who I am. And you can take it or you can take a hike. Because once you know yourself and you know that this is who I am, this is what I have to offer, then it's easier, you know, for you to live your life by those precepts. I don't think, you know, like being a fitness buff puts me at a disadvantage to anybody else. I don't think people should look down on me or think I'm not smart. I've seen people who think that people who work out are wasting time. They're not smart. It means they don't have work to do. They don't have if you start getting serious with life, you forget all about that. But for me, it's my balance. It's what helps me keep myself balanced, because Lagos is stressful. And this for me is my number one distressor. If I can work out, then I can handle any level of stress. I can handle anything that is thrown at me. Because when I sweat, I sweat out the toxins. I'm happy, I'm free. And at that moment, I tell you, I don't feel like a country manager. At that moment, I don't feel like somebody's auntie, or I don't feel like, somebody that should, have some decorum. I'm just happy and free. And I think that's my Peter Pan moment, when I can just, be myself, the person that I'm meant to be. And once I know that, I'm happy to embrace that. Then I keep going. It's something that I started doing about 13 years ago now. My brother first started getting into the fitness thing. And so I was like, okay, well, we start jogging. And then in 2010.
That's your brother?
That's my brother, yeah.
Oh, okay.
now you feel. So yeah, like we got into it about 2007. I joined in, we're jogging together. And then 2010, I had a nasty breakup. And so I went into the gym and I got hooked on the metal, so to speak, in the gym since then. And so like, it's what I just do to distress, to make myself happy, to keep in control of things. And it really, really does work. Yeah, so when I see people who, who want to work out, when I see people who, and this is why I started a group, like I said, when I just said, why don't we just start a fitness group, was because I saw that people wanted to work out. People wanted to connect with other people who were working out, share experiences, share frustrations. And around me then, I didn't see any kind of group like that. So I belong to some other groups on Facebook, and I kept sharing, my fitness routines in there, but then they were not fitness groups. So, people didn't really connect so much with it. So I thought, why not just start a group, bring people together who really want to get into fitness or who are actually into fitness, and let's build a proper community from there. And that's why I started it in January.
Wow. From passion, very soon maybe to business. So and for me, that all it just says is what Nike says on their slogan: just do it. Like, it was just a conversation, but you went out and you just did it. And today it's something. I mean, that's the first alert I get every morning. Somebody is doing something, and I feel like if I break you now,
and it motivates you, doesn't it?
So, I mean, it's great. I mean, from work to what your passion is, and what you're bringing value all across the chain. And for me, that's one thing I've learned today. You have to always give value, guys. If you have any questions, drop your questions. And she's not going to bite. She's going to ask your questions. Drop your questions if you have any questions. I'm going to try to do a recap. So today we've learned that, just keep giving value. Don't get employed and tell yourself what you're employed for is what you're going to give. Employers, please treat your staff as good. I'm also learning that. It's easy to shout and complain, but when they do the little things that are right, just, throw in a peck here and there, call them and figure out how they're doing and stuff, because they are still humans, and without them, the company doesn't really grow. So treat your staff as family, as people, as humans, so that they can get to that next level you want to get to. And probably one day they might become successful enough to lead the company that we started, and that's succession. So Lola, what do you think the future holds? Like, Nigeria has been there's complaint everywhere about what the job force is. Very difficult. Most entrepreneurs I've spoken to, most business owners, even investors, complain that staffing has been a problem. how do you take this problem and create a solution? Where do you see that solution coming up in future? Because we have very smart people. So if you have very, very smart people, how come these complaints still exists?
So I find out in people hiring, they don't, unfortunately, hire for passion. When people want to hire, they look at pedigree, which is important as well, right? But sometimes, unfortunately, where the person has gone to university is not going to determine the kind of efforts they're going to put in. So when I look out for staff, I've worked with some wonderful people, and I have grown teams myself because I don't give up on people. You would find that in 6 years that I've been managing businesses in Jumia, I've probably fired 4 people. Because what I
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because what I do is look out for the best in this person. If this person is not performing well on this particular role, I find what else they can do for them. And then I sit down with them, and then I groom them and grow them and make sure they understand. Because sometimes there's a communication gap between management and staff. You just tell somebody, so for instance, if somebody's KPI is to pick 40 calls in a day, right? They don't know why they're picking that 40 calls. They just know they have to pick 40 calls. So on a day that somebody is not feeling quite up to it, they pick their 30 calls and like, I could only pick 30 calls today. And then you come tomorrow, you're tearing out your hair because you know that you need 40 calls in order to achieve a certain, benchmark of sales or acquisition or retention or whatever. And then the person just, well, I did what I can do. And then you see that like, seriously, this gets me. Young people, a lot, you see this, like, I did it. Like, no, it's not about that. It's about why we're doing what we're doing. So something I always make sure I do with staff is that they understand why we're doing it. So if I take my time and I explain to you, on the level I feel you can understand why we're doing what we're doing, why I need you to come in, or sometimes why I have to make you stay back at work and do that thing you don't feel like doing, because I'm not all sunshine and rainbows at work as well, right? So like, if I ask you to do stuff, you don't get it done. Easy, we all sit down there till midnight. I put you in a taxi to go home. Tomorrow, you don't think about doing that kind of bullshit anymore. You will do what you're supposed to do. So sometimes, it's like making people understand, why do you do this? And making them know their quota to contribute to the company. So when I start seeing these traits, and, like I say, it's about people who want to grow in the business. I'm not going to say, okay, tomorrow I need a manager. I'm going to go and hire somebody that graduated, last year. I have these people that I've been killing myself trying to grow. Yeah, I'm going to find a manager from there, and then I'm going to step them up. And people who need to upskill. Sometimes people don't know they need to upskill. They think, why am I being regressed? Why is it that, there's an opportunity to step up? My company goes out to hire somebody else, and I'm here, I've been doing the work. So you let them know you need to upskill. You're not good in Excel. If you're not good in Excel, there's no way I'm going to recommend you for a role that requires analysis. I mean, I know you're perfect in everything else and all of that, but I'm not going to recommend you for this. So this is what you need to do. And then this puts the burden as well of growing leaders on the managers. Because if I want a leader, today, I can recommend on any level to anybody who wants to hire people that I have worked with in different capacities, and I'll tell you, this person is great. And that's not because I met them great, but because I have spent so much time to make sure that this person can be better than where I met them. So I would say, managers, employers, if they have a solid mentorship system, if they have a solid learning and development system, you will find people who want to do the work. When I started working with Jumia, I hated PMOs. Like, if you wanted to kill me, just give me an Excel and tell me to analyze it. But then it took me some time to like, okay, these guys that look like superstars is because they know how to do this. And then I go online. Unfortunately for me, nobody told me and all of that. But then I go online, I go and polish up my Excel skills and say, okay, now I'm ready. Now I start doing this. Now I start putting in some figures together, sending reports, creating reports for myself, and then knowing that this is what I need to do to move on to my next level. So I think managers need to let their people know what their next levels can be, and then, speak to them about it and see if they want to go in that direction. Some people I have advised and said, I think you're good in this. Do you want to go in this direction? And they tell me honestly, oh, no, I don't want to go in that direction. I want to do something else. And I go, okay, that's fine. Just give it some thoughts. But then there are some people I have told, you're doing customer service, but I think you were born to do sales. Start it. And then they'll be like, no, I don't think I want to do sales. Or you will get targets, this and that. Just do it. And then now they're excelling, and then they too are grooming their own people to work in those fields. So everyone has a responsibility there. The person who wants to learn and the person who needs the skills should work together to grow this employee or staff into that level. When you're recruiting, honestly, you probably will find a lot of diamonds in the rough. And cool. How do you spot the actual diamonds? I don't know. For me, it's gut feeling, and it's sometimes in the body language, sometimes it's how people react to certain questions, how they tell me what they did, not the exact thing, but how they put it out, then you think this person can go with me, or you think, okay, maybe not. Some people don't interview well, unfortunately, and then you hear later from someone that, oh, this person is actually quite good with stuff like this. Do you want to give them a try? And then you think, okay, let me try this person out. And, you put in processes and systems to help these people grow. And that works a lot of the time. Unfortunately, our educational system is not what it needs to be. Graduates today are not better than, somebody that had an A-level 20, 30 years ago. And we have to work with that. So if you're looking for, like the most skilled person to do a job, you probably won't find it. And you probably will find somebody who has, like a fancy degree that doesn't really get the market, that doesn't really get your business. And so you start like, okay, this person has a fancy degree. I thought he would cut it. But no, he's not that grassroots person you need. And that grassroots person isn't skilled enough to do what you want them to do. So where do you go from there? And so that's why I always go and hire for passion, not for the skill per se. And I believe that people can grow in roles. People can move up because I moved up. And for that reason, I always will go after somebody who is passionate about the business than someone who has, an NCAID or Harvard.
Cool. Thank you very much. There's something that, as you were speaking, it's something I actually started trying with my kids. And every time they ask me for something, I give them 3 questions. And they always know these 3 questions must come. The first question is, why? The second question is, how? And the third question is, when? Now, my kids know that anything, if they say, Daddy, I want candy, the first question is, why?
Why?
The second question is, how? And the third question is, so, when? And I've noticed over time that it helps them start thinking about problem solving before they get to me. And this is something that has lacked a lot with people.
Yeah.
School today, I learned how to write my first line of code just by going to a computer, going through lecture notes on the internet, and that's how I started my own stuff. A lot of people have had other issues and all that, but I don't think there's a disconnect between, I studied so and I came out of the first class, tell me anything yet. He doesn't tell me you can solve problems on the streets of Lagos.
Nah.
That's where I want to solve problems. So, I mean, thanks for the clarification on how, managers should actually make managers, and how, we should actually start, building our own people and trying to like imbibe in them, so that we can create a culture of, churning out the right kind of people. I've had issues with hiring. Like, I think I've done over 700 interviews. I think I've had over maybe like 150 people, and I've had issues with hiring. It's never been. So I just get somebody, go do the work. I don't want to.
You definitely, how would I say it? You definitely interview about 100 people. Again, the unfortunate situation we are in Nigeria, to get one good person.
You have to do a lot
but sometimes when you find that one good person, there was a boy I hired a couple of years ago, and he came to work with us, and he stayed for a couple of months, and I recommended him for an analyst role in the central team. And he did that for another couple of months. And the day he was leaving Jumia, he came to me and he hugged me and held me so tight and said, "I will never forget you." He said, because I didn't think I could be where I am today. And he grew so fast, And all this boy was doing was an internship with Lagos State government somewhere. But you could see he was tired. You could see he wanted to learn. You could see he wanted to be more. And that for me is a signal, that this person is going to be great. So even when he told me he was leaving, I was happy for him, because I told him, I said, I just want to see you doing great things wherever you go. It's the sky is just your limit once you have that thirst to be more than you are, and you have that thirst to keep learning.
Good. There's a couple of questions. So I'm going to start reading. Buhari, I know your question is also there. I'm going to take that soon. I mean, I can also, chip into this question, because I think it was directed at me. And all openness, that's my sister-in-law trying to like pull my thread. So she says, my passion is writing, creative writing. How do I parlay that into a money-making entrepreneurship? Now, we're not talking about entrepreneurship, but I mean, Lara can always help.
Yeah, we can talk about entrepreneurship. Yeah, okay, it's okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Lara can help you. So go ahead.
Yeah, if you're a creative writer, you have the opportunity to start writing short stories, right? Maybe you have a niche. Maybe you want to write stories for children. Maybe you want to be the voice of Africa. Chimamanda is a creative writer, and we don't need to, speak about how much she's making from writing. You have the opportunities you have are endless. I know Oprah started, an open source platform where people can just write stuff and put on there. You can start that small. You can want to say, okay, I want to write in my native language because I want to preserve some culture for the coming generations. This is something I particularly have found is lacking, because we don't have our culture preserved in story form for the children coming up. We're writing books, we're drawing pictures, but we know these kids are never going to read books. So is there an opportunity to make money by creating stuff around culture and languages and putting on there? Is there an opportunity to, to carve a niche and write something that somebody has never written before? No matter what your passion is, the day you start making money from it, you can create for yourself a niche. You can find, what is called your own blue ocean, and then just, wade in there and start creating stuff. Gone are the days when things were difficult, when, you have to go to a publisher, a printing press, and you don't need that. Imagine
a studio. I have a studio.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, just as little as 10 years ago, what we're doing right now would have been an impossible feat. We would have gone to, the classic TV stations and begged for airtime, and then they'll say you don't have a sponsor. I mean, that those days are gone. So, like, the opportunities are endless, and no matter what you want to do, no matter how you want to create wealth, you can start with whatever your passion is.
Cool. I mean, I'm going to add to that. So there's a friend of mine, Chinonso. Everybody knows Chinonso Obwegu. And Chinonso reached out the other time, and that's how Sabi Writer started. Like, the question was, hey, Simeon, you guys are doing some awesome stuff. can I write about you? Can I write about this person? Can I write about that person? And that's how he started a whole full business from just writing autobiographies, writing biographies of people. Today he's doing, like, I know his books, I've seen his numbers. This guy is doing a lot in that space. And it just started from the love of, I want to write about people. So you could start writing about your network. You write something about people around you. Some people are doing some awesome stuff. They do some great stuff. Write about them, take it back to them. They would give you some funds based on what you see, if it's creative enough. So you can actually start any way you want to start. So just start right from the small confines you have. I have a serious question that was thrown at you, actually. So Buhari says there's this false notion that you must be an entrepreneur to be successful. Everyone wants to run their own business. How do you suppress this temptation of start your own thing instead of running and growing someone else's business?
So everyone should know what their strengths are, right? I have a friend who was a born entrepreneur that worked with us in Jumia for some time. And for him, he chose to work with Jumia because he wanted to learn how to run a business in order to go and run his own business. But we're not all cut out to be hustlers. We're not all cut out to be entrepreneurs. We're not all cut out, to go and start a business. Some people will do better with structure and growing that business. So I'm that kind of person, and I know what kind of person I am. I would always do something on the side, right? From when I was maybe in secondary school, I've always sold stuff. I like selling stuff. So that's not going to stop me from selling my fitness apparel. I'm going to sell my whey protein tablets for going to the gym and all of that, because that ties into my passion. Maybe one day I'm going to start up a gym. But then this is who I am. I'm going to run a business for somebody. And it's about understanding your own strengths. I hear this all the time, when people say the salary you are being paid is the bribe to kill your business or something. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I mean, like, no one is putting a gun to your head.
Somebody's salary is enough to kill somebody's career. I want it to kill my career. Her salary, I want it to kill my career.
I mean, like, there's going to always be people like that. If every single person, when we think about it, think about how many staff are in companies in Nigeria today. Think about how many people, are being fed, how many families. If each and every one of these people started their own business, would just be, I don't know, a bunch of jokers, because every single home is going to have a business and nobody's going to be buying from the other person. So where does the ecosystem go to? So why don't we come together and say, okay, I believe in this person's vision. And for me, that's what I don't do, right? If you offer me a job and I don't believe in your vision and I don't see it growing, I'm going to tell you, sorry, I'm not interested. But if I hear what you want to do and I'm thinking, my goodness, this is exciting. This is the next level. This is where we need to go to. And then I join forces with you. As long as, I feel I'm being treated fairly in that organization, we're going to do it together. So I'm not fazed, by people saying you need to start. I think we started Jovago, and then 2 years or less than 2 years into it, one of my friends came and said, Lara, you've served other people long enough, or it's time for you to start your own Jovago. I think I got pissed off, because the way he said it, like, you've served. Am I a slave? I mean, I'm doing a job and I'm getting paid to do my job. So I'm doing this because I want to. So you come and say, oh, you've served other people long enough. You need to start your own Jovago and give these people a run for their money. I now asked him, I said, you have a small business you're running. If somebody comes to work with you for 1 year, leaves your company after 1 year and goes to clone your business and starts giving you a run for your money, how would you feel? And then he said, hey, that's not what we're talking about. I said, that's exactly what we're talking about. I said, and most, if you look at it, that kind of business is going to take you a lot of money to make successful. So I told him, I said, you don't even know the half of how much this business puts in marketing. You want to come in with what, 100,000 naira and give them a run for them? Come off it, man. It doesn't work that way in the real world. And he was like, oh, okay. So I mean, it's important for all of us to put things in perspective and know what we're actually chasing after. I'm chasing after career growth. I'm thinking of, how to have a Pan-African view. For me, like I've done, Nigeria for so long, I can build any business in Nigeria. What's next for me now is a business that I can grow across Africa. Can I replicate across cultures and markets what I have done in this country? That is the next challenge for me. And it's probably not going to be me, starting a new business, to go and do those things. So we only just need to put things in perspective.
My body is listening. My body is listening. Okay. So like I mean I have also additions to this question, and Kabiru, it's real. I mean, I'm going to take it from another perspective, which is being in the Valley for a while and actually seeing what has happened in San Francisco and other companies or countries that have been able to actually go into their management, and what I've seen about successful businesses is the fact that you see a bunch of crazy entrepreneurs come together and build something that we now know as global giants. Yes, one person sits and says, yes, he's a known face. But when you look deep, you find out that so take for instance, one of my co-founders, Madonna, went to the Alibaba e-founders in China and found out that Alibaba as a group had over 27 different other CEOs that were under Jack Ma you would never hear about. These are the guys that are killing themselves and doing stuff. And they had to build this company where it is today. These guys are all billionaires. Like, you can't even talk around them. They're all billionaires.
Exactly.
But they get to build something that is now known as the group. Now, when Jack stepped down, one of them became the next person in line that is now the face of, in quote, Alibaba. So at the end of the day, you find out that for us to grow sustainable businesses in Africa, for us to grow things that will compete against the world, we all need to come together under ideas and build these ideas to what it will become. Now, as the staff, I would always advise this. Always look out for shares in the companies that you work in. If it's something that you actually ask for shares, ask for shares. Layer your value. For instance, if I'm going to, bring in Lara to my company, I know the first thing I've actually asked her, before. And then the first thing she asked me was, so how much shares am I going to, how much stock options? Because that is the value. She's in court, weighed her value that she's going to take this company to that next level. So if I'm going to work with this company to take it to that next level, then I should eat part of the cake. And at that point, you can grow something, glorious. So we can not all be entrepreneurs, but we need ourselves to actually build serious entrepreneurial institutions that would make sense to the world. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but that's the truth. Yeah. So any other questions? And if we didn't answer your question, you could throw in another question, and we will be able to do it. But like I said, for Oni, start by writing about people. Like I said, I'm creating a group where you can connect with people, create a network of people. Write about Lara, write her autobiography, write something about her that
But that's not creative. That's not creative, Simeon. Like she probably wants to write fiction.
I mean, I don't know, but for me, start small. Even if you're writing fiction, write something that you can, throw out there. Give it.
I'll say write what you know, and I can't remember where I saw that, because I did English actually in my first degree, and I wrote a novel as my project. So I did some research around writing, and I saw that, and it really hit home. You can't write what you don't know. You're gonna look silly writing it. Just write what you know. Start from where you are and write about what you know. I don't think you can go wrong with that. I'm sure she has a focus, and if she wants to chat after now, I'm happy to do it.
That is what it is. There's connection. So Oni, you got a straight line to Lara. Lara would love to chat with you and see how that goes. Thank you very much. We have just about some couple of minutes, and I really need to let Lara go. She's really, really super busy. I had to beg for almost 3 weeks to get her here. So now that I have her here, I don't want to burn my cable so that she can always come back when we need her. Guys, if you have any other questions, like I said, I'm setting up a group where we all can actually meet each other. There is no big man and small man. There is no anything. We need to all come together to help each other get to that next level. What we are trying to build is Africa. People like Lara we need to show that we have people like Lara out there, done some work, some great things, and let them push us. Let us have our own boasting. Let's have our own bragging rights. We have people that are doing some awesome work. Let's brag about them. Let's talk about them. Let's get them to help us grow. And so that once I lift the next person up, we can all lift each other up. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I don't know if you have any last words, any advice for people out there that are trying to build a career. So I'm going to throw 3 questions at you. The first one is, people are trying to build a career. They don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. What is that dream? How do I dream to become a Lara in future? How do I dream to even want to now start thinking about running a global company? There are also those that are already in the job, but they are tired. They don't know what to do next. How do you rekindle that ginger in me? And finally, just a general advice for everyone. If you can do that in 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay, yes. So for anybody who is looking to start a career, I would say, going back to what we said at the beginning, try to build value around yourself. Try to find out what is needed out there, and blend that with what you want to do. Some people are lucky. Some people would start a career with their passion. Some people, would maybe like someone like me, I'd like to be in the gym 24/7 and get paid shitloads of money, right? But hey, that's not happening. But then what do you want to do? What can you do? What is needed out there? What skills are out there that are needed? If you don't have the required skills for where you want to work in, start building yourself. Don't start at the top. Don't look for a lot of money today if you're starting out. Even if you get a job that is not going to pay you. I say this, but my heart bleeds because I see a lot of employers have taken advantage of this statement that we tell young people that even if they can work for free, they should. Employers should kindly stop taking advantage of young people. If you can pay them, then please pay them. And I say to young people to start working, even if they want to work, even if they have to work for free, because this is how they can add value to themselves. So even if somebody can't pay you, or maybe all they can pay you is 30K, if it covers your transport fare, take it, but have a focus on what you want to do and why you're here and what you need to learn to get to where you're going to. If you are in a job and you feel like you're stuck in a rut, we're in hard times. And honestly, jobs are being lost daily. A lot more people are going to lose their jobs before the end of the year. If you're still working, you have a job, hold it tight, take it seriously, and ask for feedback. And this is something that, a lot of people don't know how to do. A lot of people don't want to hear feedback. Feedback is not always going to be pleasant. The person that is going to help you grow is not going to say, oh, you're always great. Oh, I love what you do 100% of the time. The person is going to tell you some hard stuff, but take that feedback and grow from it. Even if they don't tell you, ask and say, oh, is there something I can do better at my job? In finding what your challenges are, you will find what can spark you. Because if you're a serious person and you want to grow, and you find that, oh, what your boss doesn't like is the fact that you're not good with, say, Power BI, or you're not good with PowerPoint, then okay, I need to start learning this. And in trying to learn something, you spark up, that part of your brain that gives you more passion, that gives you more drive. And then you find that keeps pushing you into your next level. All jobs will not be easy. There are times on my job as well that I'm like, oh my God, what have I done again? But then we have to keep doing it, because you have to have the focus that I'm doing this for a reason. You have to think, I want to make this company better. And in making this company better, I'm going to make myself better. And that should keep pushing you. And generally, I'll say this for people who have lost their jobs. If you're in Lagos, if you're in Nigeria, I'll give you expo. There's a lot of opportunity right now in food, in logistics, you can start something in those fields. You can start doing something. Everybody is doing food now. You know, you can start a grocery store, and the margins on going to the farm to get produce to selling at your doorstep, or you want to start it up online, or you want to do it on Instagram, the margins are crazy. So if you're out of work right now and you're thinking of something small to start with, small money, and that can really grow quickly, I'd say go and start doing groceries. You will be surprised at how you're going to make it in there. And if you're looking for a job, please give it your best shot. And times are hard, I'll say frankly, but give it your best shot. There are still jobs out there. People are still hiring, but people would only hire those that they believe and those they perceive have the value they are looking for. So we come back again to building value on yourself and making yourself that person that people want to be around. So that's it from me.
Thank you, Lara. You've been awesome. You've been excitingly awesome. And I'm just going to post that here from Omo Bolanle. Thank you, Lara, and so and so and so. Thanks for your response. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lara, for even showing up. Thank you very, very much. So today's freebie goes to Onyi. Onyi, you get a free connection to Lara, and you can actually gist with her on your project. Thank you, Lara. Thank you for coming to the show. Hopefully, when we call you next time, you will be available to us, and you come and share your experience. And maybe by that time, you're running Africans Global, whatever, you know. So
maybe.
So,
thanks, Simeon. Thanks a lot.
Maybe you be my boss. I'm not fine. I don't know. So thanks for coming. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing your wealth of experience. Till next time, God bless you. Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, Simeon.
Yeah. So that has been Lara, the country manager of Jumia, and fitness blog, fitness expert. She's been wonderful. Thank God you learned a lot of things. This is why this program is there. It's to actually connect people, to bring people together, to be able to grow our country, to be able to grow our continent. Nobody's going to help us do it. We can do it ourselves. So if you search for the new page, Connect with Simeon or Simeon Onobi, you see the page, follow the page so that you get latest. From next week, we're going to be moving to that page for the live broadcasts, so that more people can join in, more conversations can happen, and more connections can happen, and more growth can happen across. Also, this video is going to be posted on YouTube, on our YouTube page, Connect with Simeon, and you can always watch it over and over and over again. And if you need any connection, send me an email, connectwithsimeon@gmail.com, and I'll be able to help you out. Also, not to forget, my company, Connected Analytics, which is owners of Thank You Cash, we'll be releasing our app very soon. It's been delayed for a while, and that our freebies and our promos, and also being able to help give giveaways to people. So watch out for that. We'll be doing that on so many of our shows. So please do follow me on Instagram, Simeon Onobi. Follow me on Facebook, Simeon Onobi. Follow me on Twitter, and all my social media handle is always Simeon Onobi. And hit me up, and I'll be able to probably help you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of this. I remain yours truly, Simeon Onobi. Until we meet on, and that reminds me, on Tuesday we have a special guest, someone that you would be amazed to meet. This is our next guest, the CEO at TechPoint Africa, Adewale Yusuf, who's going to be telling us about his stories. And if you think you've seen everything, you need to listen to Adewale Yusuf talk. He'll tell about his stories, where he started from just being a security guard to running a multi-million investment across Africa. He's now in almost all the countries in Africa, and TechPoint is becoming one of the biggest viewed platform in Africa. So thank you to join in on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Don't miss it. Tell people around you. There's a lot to gain from Adewale Yusuf. He's inspired me, and it's going to be inspiring you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this. If you've learned anything, make a comment, send it down on YouTube, and I'll be quick to reply you. God bless you. God bless you. Thanks for being part of the show. Until meet next Tuesday, this is me saying ciao.
Look around you. Where you are right now, as you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
But you just get to do something. Stop waiting for the manna to fall from heaven.
never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.